It's not secret. I have better than him wrestling, grappling. I can strike with anyone. November 15, I will show you who is the best fighter in the world.
My advantage is I'm a better mixed martial artist, and I'm going to break Islam Makhachev. I'm going to take his pound-for-pound spot. It's going to be a great moment for my career and my legacy.
I think Islam, we will see both good fighters. Islam moving up, it's interesting to see what's he gonna do. But I think Islam will be.
Just a few days left, and the fans can't wait to witness the epic showdown between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena at UFC 322. Islam is confident to win his second UFC belt, while JDM is in no mood to leave his belt as he wants to dominate this division. Islam Makhachev expresses his desire to experience the thrill of becoming a champion once more. He recalls the emotions he felt when he first captured the lightweight title against Charles Oliveira and admits he's chasing that feeling again. Makhachev believes he's in his prime and doesn't want to leave the sport without securing a second belt. Islam Makhachev said, I remember my emotions when I fought for the belt the first time against Oliveira. I want to feel that again. It's my prime time and I don't want to leave this sport without a second belt. Jack Della Maddalena plans to stop the takedowns and finish the fight standing. He expects a fight similar to his Bilal bout. Islam will try multiple takedowns, but Jack believes he'll get back up each round, land sharp strikes to wear him down, and eventually secure the stoppage. His dream finish is to end it at Madison Square Garden and ignite the crowd. Jack Della Maddalena said, I see it going similar to the Bilal fight. Islam will try a few more takedowns, but I believe I'll be able to get back to my feet every round and sting him on the feet, damage him, break him, and then finish him. That would be the dream, to get a finish at MSG and blow the roof off the place. After analyzing Islam Makhachev's strengths and weaknesses, Jack Della Maddalena plans to keep the fight standing. He acknowledges Islam's elite wrestling pedigree and intends to avoid clinches or takedown attempts, maintaining distance where he believes he holds a clear advantage in striking. Jack Della Maddalena added, Islam's got a strong wrestling pedigree, so lots of wrestling. I'm trying not to let him get hold of me, trying to keep distance where I believe on the feet I hold a big advantage. Jack Della Maddalena also imagines himself finishing Islam Makhachev and experiencing the crowd's roar. He envisions turning to his corner to see them celebrating wildly as the entire arena erupts with energy and excitement.
What do you see? MSG, biggest fight of the year, Islam Makhachev. What are you seeing?
I just see like a finish. I see a finish happening. I see the crowd going wild and just turning to the corner and just see him going berserk.
Oh, man. I hope so. I hope so.
Meanwhile, middleweight champion Khamzat Chimaev predicts Islam Makhachev will get the win over Jack Della Maddalena at UFC 322. He thinks the matchup is exciting, especially with Islam moving up in weight, and expects Makhachev to lean heavily on his wrestling. Chimaev believes Islam's grappling pressure will control the fight and slow down Jack's striking as the rounds progress.
Jack or Islam? Well, Islam will get the and Jack will do that. My Jack trainer. I'm asking his coach, brother, wait, what are you gonna say? We'll see. Your opinions?
5% od Madalenas.
O, Islam to jest błędne.
Jest na problem.
Coach says 55% Madalena, 45 Islam, but I think Islam, we will see. Both good fighters. Islam moving up, it's interesting to see what's he gonna do. But I think Islam will be more, he's gonna use his wrestling more in this fight.
On the other hand, Khabib Nurmagomedov reveals he plans to retire from coaching once Usman, Umar, and Islam end their fighting careers. He explains that his focus is entirely on supporting these fighters, and when their journeys in the sport are complete, he will step away as well.
How long do you see yourself coaching, and do you see yourself retiring from coaching? I can see the stress. Do you want to coach for a long time, or do you want to give it up? When these guys finish, I'm going to finish. Every month you have me fight. Oh, yes. But Usman, my priority is Usman, Umar, and Islam. And these guys are my priority. Round of applause, come on.
Meanwhile, Luke Rockhold recalls being thrown by Islam Makhachev during sparring, saying he used Islam for his Machida camp and could go several rounds with him. He admits Makhachev surprised him with his strength, noting that despite being a middleweight, he was tossed unexpectedly and recognized Islam's toughness in every area.
Luke, when did you meet Islam? I think I used him for like my Machida camp back in the day. You flew him in from Dagestan?
No, he came with Habib.
He's a Dagestan nigga?
He's a Dagestani.
That's Habib's crew.
Oh.
Yeah, no, but like I would actually like I could like spar a little bit with him. Like he would come in like my 4th and my 5th round.
Oh, no way.
And like I remember he threw me one time. I was like, what the fuck?
He judo tossed you?
Yeah.
With Shimada?
I was a middleweight and yeah. But I got back up and got him back. But, you know, he definitely surprised me. He's very tough everywhere.
Luke Rockhold also recalls training with Khabib Nurmagomedov, saying the former lightweight champion always pushed him to his limits. He explains that not many lightweights could grapple or compete with him, but Khabib was different, relentless, strong, and always eager to train harder and longer than everyone else. Rockhold remembers their non-stop training sessions as some of the toughest of his career.
And what was he like in the gym? Was he as dominant in the gym as he is in the cage?
He's very, very tough, man. Very tough. You know, he could work with me. Not a lot of lightweights could grapple with me and compete with me. And he was always tough, and he'd always want to go harder and further than everybody else. And at that time, that's exactly where I was. And it was like, who can push the bike harder? Who can sprint faster? I remember like we'd be doing sprints, and he would like. This motherfucker, like it was a push.
Did
Habib, he pushed me to my limit, and that's why I liked. I was like, come on, let's go train at night. Let's go train here. We train together nonstop.
Luke Thomas revealed that middleweight Punahele Soriano once trained with Islam Makhachev and was completely dominated. Soriano admitted that despite being a full 185-pounder, he couldn't do anything against Islam, describing the session as 2 hours of being overwhelmed by Makhachev's superior skill and control.
So it was funny. He was saying one time, this was during the pandemic, he was rolling up to Extreme Couture and he had no one to train with for whatever time. And he called up Ali and he's like, I got no one to train with. They're like, oh yeah, we'll send Islam to go. And he was Soriano at the time was a full 85er. And he said Makhachev just fucking murdered him for 2 hours. He couldn't do anything to him. He was like, I'm an 85er and this guy's a 55er. I can't do shit to this guy. You know, and you're hearing I've just noticed there's a lot of that happening.
On the other hand, Jack Della Madalena's coach shared that Alexander Volkanovski and Craig Jones joined the camp completely on their own. Craig stayed nearby for weeks, paying his own way just to help. Neither fighter was invited or compensated. They came purely out of support and dedication, eager to contribute to Jack's preparation for Islam Makhachev.
We've been thinking about Islam for months, since the last fight, basically. Like, Craig's been here for weeks. In an Airbnb, like, you know, paying for himself. Like, it's just unbelievable what these people will do for just because they want to. You know, like, people might think they're getting paid loads of money, and Jack's like, wait, it's not the case, man. They just want to help. Like, and it's people need to understand that they're not earning money or clout off the back of Jack. It's just they want to help Jack win. So we really appreciate it. It was so good to have Volk come over, and I think what people don't realise is we never asked him, we never paid for him. Like, he came on his own dime, you know, and just decided he wanted to come and help. So that's pretty phenomenal.
Din Thomas believes Islam Makhachev needs to finish the fight early to prevent Craig Jones from using his specialized skills. He thinks Islam's best approach is to take the fight to the ground quickly and capitalize before Jones can establish control and apply his unique grappling techniques.
Well, I think that Islam's best chances are going to be really, really early. And I said it, if he can get him down early. Now, the Craig Jones element is a hack. It is a cheat code. Now, if you can get a man down early and just finish him before he gets started on his cheat codes, problem solved. If I'm Islam, you got to try to catch this man, because Jack's not the great, like, he wasn't like the greatest grappler prior, right? Like, he doesn't come from like a grappling background. Like, he's competent, but if you can catch him early and get him to make a mistake early and then just never let him out, never let him get to his cheat code, that's where Islam's going to excel.
Michael Bisping commends Islam Makhachev for setting a new standard at lightweight with 4 straight title defenses, surpassing all previous champions. He admires Islam's bold decision to move up in weight, calling it a mark of a true champion. Bisping emphasizes that big stages like Madison Square Garden are what fighters dream of, and Islam has earned that spotlight. Even if he steps away in the future, Bisping notes, Makhachev can do so with pride, having proven himself against the sport's elite.
I think I'm right in saying this, the most successful lightweight ever, defended the belt 4 times.
Yep.
The record previously was 3, so that's phenomenal. And we all know about the lightweight division and how stacked that is. I mean, he's defended the belt 4 times. He's, from what I understand, quite a simple man, so, be great, step up to another weight class, take out someone else, Madison Square Garden. These are the moments that as a fighter we live for, these kind of super fight moments, Of course, he's making a tremendous living. He doesn't want to do this forever, and he can go back to his farm in Dagestan and he can live a nice, simple life and know that he's been there, done that, and tested himself. That's what we want to do as fighters.
Michael Bisping praises Islam Makhachev for stepping up to welterweight, calling him the most accomplished lightweight in UFC history. He respects that Islam didn't just stick to safe title defenses, but chose to test himself against bigger, stronger opponents. Bisping sees this move as a sign of a true champion's ambition, showing that Makhachev isn't content with dominating one division. He aims to make history in a second weight class as well.
Islam doing it now, when he's defended the belt 4 times. He's defended the belt 4 times. The lightweight division, he's kind of gone through all the big stars there. Okay, let's go up to welterweight. Let's try something new. Let's try and do something that's never been done. Whereas a lot of the time we see fighters, they instantly become the champ and they want to defend, they want to challenge for another belt in another weight class because there's no risk there. There's no risk. If you lose, you're still the champ at 155 or whatever weight class it is. He's done it. He's defended the belt 4 times. He's proven that he was the legitimate best fighter at 155 pounds on planet Earth. And he's done that 5 times. Won the belt and then defended it 4 times. And now he said, right, I've done that. I've clearly proven that at 155 I'm the man. Let's see if I can do it at 170. It's incredible.
Chael Sonnen believes Islam Makhachev's jump to welterweight gives him a chance to create a legacy beyond Khabib Nurmagomedov. He believes Islam won't openly say it, but taking on a challenge Khabib never attempted sets him apart. Sonnen adds that even if Islam isn't motivated to outdo his mentor, his choices in the sport will leave future fans and fighters a unique example of his own path and achievements.
I'd love to hear it from him. He earned this the hard way. He cleaned out a division, maybe the hardest division in the sport. He's moved to another division. This is what it's all about. And not to mention, it's something he will never discuss. But if you don't always want to be the heir apparent to King Khabib's throne, you got to do something that Khabib didn't do. And this is his opportunity. And I know inside that's not his motivation. He is not trying to show up Khabib. But I am just suggesting at some point his grandkids are going to look back on his career and they will now have something they can turn to that is different than Uncle Khabib.
Yeah, he said that the other day. Somebody asked him, like, well, it doesn't matter for you. He goes, what a stupid question. He goes, Khabib's my brother. He goes, I don't want to do anything better than him. He goes, we do this together, but this is for my legacy. And right now, Islam's on the verge of legacy.
Michael Bisping thinks a win over Jack Della Maddalena could move Islam Makhachev into GOAT discussions. He notes that defeating Jack and then defending the title multiple times would be a rare and remarkable achievement. Echoing Mike Bone, Bisping adds that if Islam can handle elite welterweights like Sean Brady and Shavkat Rakhmonov, it would cement his legacy as one of the sport's all-time greats and potentially one of its most dominant fighters.
I'm looking at his record and you're seeing Moicano, Dustin Poirier, Volkanovski twice in a row, Charles Oliveira, and then if you were a critic, then you start talking about Bobby Green. There's Dan Hooker, who's a tremendous fighter, Drew Dober, Davey Hamosh, Arman Sarukian. You know what I'm saying? So that hasn't aged bad. So yeah. I mean, listen, if he gets the job done, I think without question, he deserves to be in that conversation.
Yeah, and dude, let alone if he can defend that belt a couple times against a Sean Brady, against a Shavkat, against any of these super high-level welterweights, like I think that would kind of push his legacy over the edge. And I think we're having conversations about him being top 3 or number 1. If he defends
without a shadow of a doubt. If he can beat Jack, and again, it's a big if. I'm not sure what the odds are on that fight, but if he can beat Jack and go on a run and defend it 2 or 3 times, it's insane.
Bilal Muhammad breaks down the fight between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena, warning that Jack must be flawless on the ground. He notes that Islam's patience and control can dominate any grappling exchange, punishing even the smallest openings. Bilal highlights that while Makhachev rarely makes mistakes, Jack still leaves himself vulnerable with occasional lapses, which Islam would quickly capitalize on.
Islam versus Jack, for me, breaking down this fight stylistically, obviously trained with Islam, fought Jack, it's going to come down to if it hits the ground. If it hits the ground for Islam, I think his top game is going to be really good. He's very smart, very controlled, doesn't let you off the hook when you make a mistake. Jack makes mistakes on the ground. He uses it to scramble. He has good scrambling ability. He has moments where he's like lapses safety, right? He'll give up his back, he'll give up his neck, he'll give up arm triangle. And you can't do that with Islam. Islam's gonna see that and he's gonna exploit it. I think if Islam comes out wrestling right away and forcing that takedown right away, making that work, it's gonna be a long night for Jack.
Bilal Muhammad commends Jack Della Maddalena for his sharp fight IQ and relentless determination, recognizing him as a fighter who never gives up. However, he cautions that Jack needs to control the center of the octagon and avoid the fence, where Islam Makhachev excels. Drawing from Islam's approach against Dustin Poirier, Bilal notes how he consistently drove opponents toward the cage before executing takedowns, predicting that Makhachev's pressure and grappling will eventually overcome Jack's defense.
Seeing him, being in there with him, he's very smart. He's good on the feet. He has good hands. He doesn't give up on himself. He always pushes through. So Jack's not gonna be like a quitter, but he has to take the center. He has to be in the middle. He has to force the action and try not to get his back to the fence. Because we've seen in the Poirier fight, Islam really wants to get you to the fence. Poirier did a good job of keeping the center and he defended a couple of takedowns. But honestly, I just think that Islam's takedown offense is going to be more than Jack's takedown defense, and then when it goes to the ground, it's going to be a bad night. But if Jack can avoid some of those spots, there'll be moments for him if he can make it to the 4th, 5th round. We'll see how Islam.
Dan Hooker praises Islam Makhachev for his sharp fight IQ and cage awareness, but expects Jack Della Maddalena to have the edge at welterweight. He believes Jack's size and strength will gradually wear Islam down if he maintains consistent pressure. While admiring Makhachev's defensive skills and composure on the ground, Hooker thinks Jack's power and complete skill set at 170 pounds make him a formidable threat capable of challenging anyone in the division, including Islam.
I think Jack, just because of the size advantage, like the later it goes, like that's the thing. Being the bigger, stronger guy, it's effective if you can make the other fighter carry your weight. Jack being a bigger guy, I feel like the longer the fight goes, Islam's not used to carrying that same amount of weight into deep waters. I feel like just Jack's frame and size will give him the advantage if it goes later into the fight. But Islam Makhachev is an incredibly smart fighter. On the feet, he's very hard to hit. He doesn't like getting hit at all. And then he's also very conservative on the ground. He's a very hard guy to touch. He's a very hard guy to start putting some damage on. But Jack Della, I feel like there's no one better than him right now at welterweight, and I see him winning this fight.
Meanwhile, Michael Chandler leans slightly toward Jack Della Maddalena, impressed by his sharp fundamentals and precise striking. He notes Jack's ability to control distance while maintaining steady pressure, keeping opponents off balance. Chandler recognizes that Islam Makhachev has faced bigger, stronger training partners throughout his career, so size won't bother him. Still, he believes the key will be whether Jack can remain composed under Islam's non-stop wrestling and continue to land effective strikes.
How do you think Islam does next weekend?
JDM is a tough. He's not much of a puzzle, man. He's pretty basic, but he is brilliant and violent and devastating with the basics, man. A little bit of range, a little bit of reach on Islam, and I won't even sit there and say, because Islam's a different breed, man. I wouldn't sit there and say, oh, he's a 155er, so he's not used to going with 170 pounders. I would not be surprised if Islam, his entire career, has been sparring with 55, 70, 185, and 205ers, because the dude's kind of a nut. So I think I don't think strength or size is going to be the problem. It's really going to be the dichotomy between JDM's great striking abilities and is his takedown defense enough to stop the onslaught of wrestling that Islam's going to bring.
That's all for today's video. How do you see this matchup playing out? Drop your predictions in the comments below. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos.